Hi, this is Sander from Leaves, Ice and Atrocity.
Hi, this is Toso from Leaves, Ice, Atrocity, and you're listening to Metal Oxide
on FM 89.
Yes.
Could you go around and describe your roles in the band?
Well, it's simple. I play guitar and Toso as well.
The two guitarists.
Guitar players.
That's it. And I assume the same in Atrocity?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then how did, well, I guess we can start out with, how did Atrocity get started?
The band is like a dinosaur of German death metal, maybe the first death metal band in Germany ever. It started actually as a band already in '85, and in '89 the first EP was released. And also the first album was recorded here in America, Hallucinations, in 1990. It's called Burns.
More Sound Studios.
More Sound Studio back then. And yeah, we evolved through the years. Like, it started as a kind of very technical death metal band, really weird structures, which a lot of bands that we still know always like the first 2-3 albums, like bands like Slipknot or like Dimmu Borgir. They love that old stuff. Yeah. And in the 90s, the path got a bit opened. We recorded albums like Blood or Die Liebe, which also put in some kind of crossover ideas. And yeah, now I think the last albums like Atlantis, or also the Brigade stuff that we did, and especially now the Occult album, is basically again the fist in the face, like very brutal and evil music, especially the lyrical concept from Alex. So it is a very dark, atmospheric, and yeah, very occult kind of musical inspiration, and also lyrical wise. That's where we are now.
Yeah.
So there's gonna be 2 more of those, so it's like a trilogy.
Yeah.
And so it will be probably style-wise, musically, just as brutal and epic as this last one is. Like,
nice.
It's a good mixture between, for my taste, I would say it's a mix between Atlantis and a bit more death metal even, or something like that.
And then how did Leaves Eyes get started?
Yeah, Leaves Eyes got started I think in 2003. That was actually the time when Liv finished her studies in Germany. So she was studying in Germany, and she had free time then because she didn't study anymore. And then she had the idea, oh, I want to do something which is related very much to nature, and also romantic, and my Norwegian heritage, like the landscape and stuff. And that's when Leaves Eyes got formed. Liv got actually kicked out at the same time from Theatre of Tragedy.
Yeah.
They wrote
a
nice little fax. I was in the studio when the fax came. It was like 2 sentences, you're out, goodbye. And yeah, since then we've done hundreds of tours. We did 4 full albums. We've been all around the world since there. I traveled almost every country there is. Yeah, crazily with Leaves Eyes, like either Australia, Asia, North America, South America, almost every country in Europe. Yeah. And yeah, now it's just like that we have the 5th album, Symphonies of the Night. That's the actual album. And we did, since November, since the album came out, we did a lot of European shows.
Mm-hmm.
We toured in Asia,
China,
we've been to Russia, we did a UK tour, and now it's the North American part of the tour.
Yeah. Awesome.
And so, as I mentioned before, I think it's really neat that you guys are, both bands are touring, even though it's the same band. Is that how you usually do it, where when Leaves Eyes goes somewhere, you guys open up for Atrocity, or the other way around?
Not necessarily. Actually, we even don't like it too much, because it's better to concentrate and put all the energy in one show. But it also works like this. I mean, it saves time, and it gives us the opportunity to present both bands. And actually, what you will see is like similar musicians, but the music is totally different.
Yeah.
Also, like, I don't feel I have to put a mask on, or I do have to change or take a bath to play the other stuff. It's more like
just a clean shirt.
You get into the mood, like, because the music is so different. It's like like if an actor does a comedy and does a, I don't want to say one of the band is a comedy, but just to, for an example, like does a comedy or an action movie. So as an actor, you want to do, maybe you want to have an outlet for both or for several different facets of your musical creativity. And that's very nice.
Yeah.
So we get to do many different things, like also blast beats will be in Atrocity, a lot of crazy guitar stuff. And Leaves Eyes is different. It's very also rock oriented and metal oriented, but also with a very romantic and a very melodic kind of sense. For it's more put up for Liv's voice, everything.
Yeah.
Leaves Eyes, of course, yeah.
So do you guys, whenever you tour as both bands, you ever find it difficult, like, to separate the styles at all? Like, you find yourself, you know, maybe possibly accidentally slipping into some Atrocity songs while you're playing Leaves Eyes?
No.
Actually not. I think that the biggest challenge is for our drummer. Because
really?
our drummer, he has to do 225 beats per minute songs with the double bass, which is inhuman. I even can clap that with my hands, what he's doing with his feet.
I wouldn't even know,
And he has, the same time, he must have the ability to play really tight grooves and sharp beats. So I think for him the challenge is the biggest. So that's like the person you have to say, oh, thumbs up.
Yeah.
That's Joris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let's see. How has Leaves Eyes changed since the beginning? Like how, like the newer album, how has it changed since the beginning?
I'd say it hasn't changed that much as Atrocity, for example. You can hear in every Leaves Eyes record there is consistent musical style and also lyric-wise, which is there and is basically, it sounds stupid if I say, but also unique, or that I can't find in any other female metal bands. The way that Liv is doing her lyrics, for example, and the way we do the music. But there has been a change, like Lovelorn, of course, was the start. We made like Vinland Saga and Njord. It was like, we always tried to do more. It was like a Rain in Blood. With Njord we had like 150 tracks per song. It's an incredible album with lots of choirs and stuff and symphonic, which is still there. But I'd say like Meredith, for example, had a very folky aspect. We started a lot of the songs on Meredith with vocals, and now Symphonies of the Night is maybe very rock and metal oriented.
It's a bit heavier than
it's a bit heavier, and it's really great because we played 5 songs on a European festival before the album was out, which is usually pretty brave because people don't know it. And the songs are so straightforward that everybody can relate to it. And people say, wow, that's new songs, I liked it very much.
Yeah.
So it's really fun to play the new material live. So that's maybe the difference between Meredith and, let's say, Symphonies of the Night. Yeah, but I think in all albums you can find something.
All ingredients are always there.
Yeah,
they're just mixed a bit different sometimes.
Yeah.
And, like on Meredith was maybe more, the folk ingredient came up a bit more, and now it's more the rock and metal ingredient that comes a bit more, so it's toned down a little bit on the extra instruments, although there's a lot of them in there, but I say instruments and not keyboards because all our stuff that is like the violins, choirs, everything is like recorded by real musicians.
Everything is
nothing comes out of a box or a sample or whatever. It gets recorded.
We have the opportunity.
What you said about that, that's awesome.
We have an own studio, and then we try to do everything like handmade, which is basically all the flutes you hear, all the violins, all the drums. There's almost no plastic stuff inside. It's all like handmade, and that's what we like, because also like for the music and the concept, it's always very earthy. It deals about nature, landscape. It would be silly to do it with plastic stuff, in my opinion.
Yeah. And then off of Reddit, I've got a question. Asrig3L asks, Symphony of the Night is the heaviest Leaves Eyes album so far. Will the further albums be in that same vein of really, really heavy like that?
It's hard to say. Maybe we didn't start so far writing with the next album, but what I can say, what we really like about that album is that the songs work also live in a nice way. And I think it's a really good approach, but I'm not sure how the next one will be. It will definitely sound like Leaf's Eyes, but it's not like there are already ideas for it, but it would be too early to say that right now. But we feel very comfortable with the way Symphonies of the Night turned out. I feel also it's one of our...
You mentioned about the folk in Meer especially. How is folklore kind of inspired Leaf's Eyes music?
I guess the main difference on Meredith was that we started with some Norwegian folk tunes.
Mm-hmm.
Also a friend from Liv was joining, Annette Gulbrandsen. You can hear her on several tracks. And so the start was not like on many other albums, like a symphonic arrangement or guitars or drums. It was on many songs, it was the singing, the vocals. And that's very often like a folk music thing that... and that was like the exciting thing to check. How is the music turning out if we start like with just a voice or a nice melody, and how do we build it around? So we have songs like Kråke Visa, there's a lot of Norwegian lyrics also, where you can feel that it's this folky start to it, and like the bass is very folk oriented. We also included a lot of Ilian pipes, acoustic guitars, which I always like to do, mandolins, everything that made it earthy and gave it like almost like an old ancient kind of feel to it. That's the cool thing. We have like what is the song, of course, with John Kelly, Telltale Eyes.
Telltale Eyes, yeah.
If you listen to that song, it has a very ancient feeling like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we also have on Symphonies of the Night, Liv wrote one song, for example. I'm so stupid. The last song. This is embarrassing. We don't know our own songs.
God,
Embarrassing for me, I can't even.
The last song.
the Barbaria, yeah.
Which is also a similar approach.
Mm-hmm.
And also like the one, I hope I'm not telling too much, the song we start today with will also be, it's maybe a bit still has this Meredith kind of feeling.
You can tell me which song.
That's the folkiest song on the album.
That's
I think.
Karls Winter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's a pretty folky song.
Yeah.
But it's also a very good live song. It's still it's pretty. And I think our stuff live is often a bit heavier than on the record, or it's what we hear a lot. Right? It's like people come to the shows and it's like, oh, it's much bigger. Or not saying the albums don't sound big, because they sound awesome, but like the live sound is a bit different and it's a bit more metal, I'd almost say.
Oh yeah. I'm really excited. I actually haven't seen Leaf's Eyes yet, or Atrocity. I haven't seen either band. So I'm excited for tonight.
Okay. I hope we won't be disappointing.
Well, yes, I've kind of noticed. It seems like with Leaf's Eyes, you started out really focusing on kind of like Vikings and Norwegian tradition, but now seems the Symphonies of the Night seems a little more like medieval. Is that? Could you describe kind of how the themes have changed throughout Leaf's Eyes, or each album?
Yeah, every album has an own idea or a certain concept. When we talk about Lovelorn, it's like actually a love story with a lot of sea and ocean involved.
Yeah.
The mermaids, of course. And Vinland Saga, of course, has the discovery of America.
Oh yeah.
This theme. Njord had a loose concept of certain Viking elements, which is true. And now Symphonies of the Night maybe has more, is maybe a bit more classical. Maybe you can say it's in best what sums up what we are doing. Like you have this classical, just alone the title I think is great, Symphonies of the Night.
Yes.
And the cover, when I see the cover and I hear the title Symphonies of the Night,
It fits very well.
It's really great for the band. And it's more maybe in the classic style that you have like this Beauty and the Beast thing, very prominent again, and maybe a bit more what you said, like heavy and also a bit more lyrical. It goes more into the gothic aspect again.
Yeah, and I think on this album, but I think the best one who can explain the lyrical content is Liv, of course, because she's the lyricist for the songs. But I think every song is about a historical woman who had a certain how do you say it?
Eleanor de Provence. You have many historical figures. Karl's Winter is about also Visigoth princess.
Yeah.
So she is really good in doing research on historical figures and putting them not just like a historian, but putting them in a emotional concept that fits to the music.
So every song is basically about a certain historical happening, or that involves like a strong woman, like Jeanne d'Arc, or stories like that. And,
yeah, like you hear it in the old titles, the Maid of Lorraine, of course, Eleanor de Provence. It's all based on strong woman characters,
female empowerment,
with good luck, bad luck,
drama, joy, everything is in there.
Alright, you said you guys prefer touring as either Atrocity or either Leaves Eyes. What do you enjoy touring as more? Atrocity or Leaves Eyes?
It's very hard to say. It's two sides of a coin. It's very different. Actually, like both for different reasons. It's like the one band is like aggressive, pounding metal, and it's like more mosh pit friendly stuff, and the other stuff is like, it's a very different vibe to do. And it's like Tosso said, you can almost compare it. I don't feel I'm playing the same show if we do two shows back to back. It's like a total other feeling. The music's so very different, and that also makes it good for us because it's interesting to play two styles actually. I couldn't say one is better than the other or cooler, or it just has its own. Would you say like its own vibe, and
it's just like what I meant at the beginning. I like, for example, we did this year some festival shows. For example, a big one in Europe, Summer Breeze. There's 40,000 people, and we played with Atrocity the first day and with Leaves Eyes on the second day. And that's something that I actually prefer, because you can all the day you focus on one show. That's what I feel, what I like.
You can concentrate on the show, and the only thing is, if you play two shows like back to back, so there's no break in between, you have to try to pace yourself a little bit, because you want to give two good shows. And it's if you have one show, you can just put all your energy in that one show, and then you don't have to think about, oh, I have another one after this. So you have to get your energy level that you can perform on both shows equally good.
But what happens is, like, after the first time we did it was in 2004. I think I lost 5 kilos or 6 kilos. It was like we only packed clubs, and packed clubs is like the worst. Not the worst. It's great to play. I love that. But for energy taking, and like it will be the same. You know, like everybody has lost some weight on this tour, and we'll be back after 2 weeks. So it's energy taking, and it's also a challenge. And you need to focus. That's why also we said, like, of course we're here to play. We're not just here to play to party and rock and roll. I'm 40 years old. I cannot do that anymore. If I do everyday party, then I will suck at the show. But because we are here is to play shows, and we want to do good shows and present ourselves in a good way. So that's the most important. When it's two shows, you really have to be focused.
What is really cool about this tour, I think, because we have like Atrocities, pretty extreme. At least the set we play at this moment is like the more extreme metal stuff, and then Leaves Eyes and Moonspell. And I think it's a great package because you don't get to see three same style bands, but they're all kind of connected musically. And I've seen the audience is liking all bands, and that's pretty cool over here. That's it's not like, oh, I'm only here for a death metal band, or I'm only here for Leaves Eyes or for Moonspell. They like everything. And the audience is into, usually even into all three bands, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. So you guys aren't like Corporate Planning, where you can just drink and drink and drink all night long?
They can, yeah, we know them, but it's.
It's a Scandinavian gene. They can do it. I can't do it like that.
Oh, can Liv drink like that?
Oh, we had, for example, yesterday was Liv's birthday. Of course, we had a lot of drinks.
Oh yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah.
But then it's pretty sure that tonight I'm not going to be wasted.
I don't know yet, but no. It's,
Yeah, maybe.
It was
but
yeah.
It's not working every day for me. It's like
Yeah.
I'm
Even
too
bands, sorry, even bands like Enspherium that I've interviewed, they're like, oh, we just want to go back at the bus and write some music after your show. We don't want to. We don't want to get drunk. And,
you can get drunk
party.
every night because you have to. Like Tosso said, after 4 shows, then you're gonna be bad on stage, and that sucks. You know? I mean, it's not that we don't like to. We do like to party, and we do, but just
Pace yourselves.
keep in mind
There is
that
a
you
time
still have
for
to do
everything.
what you have to do. You know, we're not here to drink. We're here to play shows and make a good show for the audience to pay a ticket. You know, and you don't want to have like a half-drunken guy who doesn't know his stuff anymore on stage. That's,
But of course, there are bus parties here.
Of course,
and
of course.
Sometimes you can be happy. My bunk is, for example, on the ground, so I always can immediately roll into my bunk.
I have to climb. I'm on top, so I have a problem when I'm.
It's harder for you.
It is. Yeah.
And it's supposed to be fun. It's not just. I mean, we're not doing any kind of work that we don't like. This is supposed to be fun, and we are happy to be here.
Yeah,
definitely. Do you guys have any other projects, or are you pretty busy with the 2 bands?
I am actually completely busy with the 2 bands because, like I said, we also have our own recording studio, and I do a lot of the music. And right now, I'm also doing like Liv as a solo project. I'm working on stuff for them, and we will do our best to make sure that next year, 2015, there will be the next Liv's Ice album. So I am definitely completely absorbed with doing that.
Yeah.
Some people come and ask me for projects, and I'm sorry, I don't have any time to do anything.
I think that goes for all of us actually, because Liv's Ice, everybody has his tasks and the stuff they do, and it basically takes up all the time. And I did have a project like last year with some friends of mine, but they all play in bands that play often and do stuff, and nobody has time for it. So then it doesn't make sense. It's not like a weekend hobby or something. This is something you have to put a lot of time in. And,
definitely.
So nobody actually has time for us. Maybe they would like to, but it's.
It's like even when the music is written and we start with all the recordings, that's like really a lot of organization. Like here's the choir, there is this and there's that, so everything has to work together. It just takes a while.
And then, where's your favorite place to play?
Sorry, you didn't get it?
Your favorite place to play?
In the world or in the US
the world.
or the world?
I guess one of the favorite places was the boat trip now.
The 70,000 tons of metal. That was definitely, I think that one, and maybe Wacken Open Air. That's a very special one.
But also now the first show, Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico was really good.
China, we did.
China was awesome.
We played in Thailand. It was awesome too. Nice.
There's so many great places and so many. That's the cool thing with our. I wouldn't even call it a job, but it's like what we do is you get to go to. We were in India, we were in Asia, China.
Also UK was fantastic.
UK, you get to go to different cultures and meet different people and different kind of, you know, in China you wouldn't expect like metalheads to be, but they're just metalheads like us, you know, and it's just a bit different with.
It's like the good thing about music, maybe like football. It's like a good bridge. It's connecting people, and it's like even if you don't speak the language. You understand. It was like I also liked. We played a rock club in Thailand, Bangkok.
Yeah, very small
amazing.
place.
That
was awesome.
It was really good because people were so excited and so passionate about the music, and then you don't need any language. You feel there's immediately a connection.
And there's a difference between playing. We did like Summer Breeze last year and Wacken, which is of course very awesome to do because it's. I think Wacken has 80,000 people attending, Summer Breeze 40 or something. but also playing in a small club where people are in your face, that energy is very different, and I think I even prefer that. That's just very
small club.
Yeah, the energy. If you have a good crowd, the energy you get from the people is just amazing.
I think when in a small club, you can really experience a band.
Yeah.
In a small club, you don't have, for example, also tonight, you don't have the chance to do a big production with 500 fire shoots, 30 Vikings and our Viking ship, which we have like in Europe then, which is a big production where you need 30 crew people. But here it's more like, what can the band present by itself? Can they deliver something?
Just by playing.
What can they bring to the audience?
Yeah.
That's like, also, I mean, it's the purest form maybe to do. I like that too.
It's a very direct communication because the people are right there. You know, there's no barricade or.
And for me, it's always like that. If I want to see my favorite bands, I prefer seeing them, like let's say, in a venue from 500, maybe up to 1,000, and not more people, because there I get more of the energy and I feel more of the band. Like when I see them on a festival. If I'm somewhere on a festival, it's always different. I know they even don't have sound check then. Then there may be wind or rain, which will diverse the sound.
Yeah.
So it's more concise and direct. I like it.
Well, kind of speaking, going on that, what are you guys? What are your personal influences within and without the metal scene?
Musically.
Yeah.
Too much to mention.
Yeah, but it's still like we grew up with metal, of course. When I was 13, there was the thrash metal wave, so
Classics,
I loved, of course, like Metallica, Megadeth, and Slayer, and then came death metal and also some other stuff. And now I'm more like, I'm now not. Joris, for example, our drummer, he knows almost every band which is around. I don't know too
newer bands.
I know almost no newer bands. I have my old favorites, and I also the longer it takes, or the longer I do music, I prefer the 70s stuff even. But
metal wise, also the classics, and what I really like bands who are currently still. I'm a big Catatonia fan, and I'm a big. We both like Enslaved a lot. The last few albums are really great from that band, I think.
I like very much Tool or Mastodon.
Mastodon,
like that. It's like a bit, how can you say, like a mixture of styles, like psycho, psycho proggy metal, whatever.
You said Tool, like Tier?
No, Tool.
Sorry?
Tool.
Oh yeah, okay.
And I'm really into Ghost. I think that's a brilliant band.
Oh yeah.
Not everybody agrees with me, but
they're fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're.
Well, there's a restaurant here in Chicago that has a ghost burger that has a Eucharist on it.
Yeah, I think they're a good band.
Yeah. No, they're a lot of fun. And then what are your guys' thoughts on symphonic metal these days? As pretty big part of the symphonic metal genre, I'd say. What are you guys' thoughts on it?
What can I say? Basically, we just talked about our own influences. So for me, I'm not too much paying actually attention to what's going on in symphonic metal. It's not the scene that I'm in flames, or that I'm saying, I'm so passionate about. I guess when I'd say my top 10 bands, there would be a symphonic metal band in. I think it is a really cool genre to give all the epic aspects to the music, but also there is the danger in symphonic metal that it's sounding too cheesy. That's what we always try to avoid. It's nice to touch people, also to have romantic aspects in the music, but always trying to avoid, that's at least what I try when I write music, or maybe, I don't know how it's with others, to avoid that it's not getting cheesy. When it's too nice, it's, oh come on, no, okay, let's... we always try to keep it real, with real instruments, with stuff that... so that's maybe our way into that genre. It's also like, I can't even say symphonic metal. You have like power metal, you have symphonic metal, you have female metal. Where are the boundaries and which can still be seen as symphonic metal? I think in Europe it's nowadays really hard. We also get a lot of backlashes. Like I think right now the least favorite metal genre is maybe female metal and symphonic metal, where metal is it's super shitty. And I must say, that's like critics. I think there are quite some bands that don't put that effort in to make sure, okay, where this balance isn't in that way. Where you say like you have epic music, but it doesn't sound cheesy. Where that balance is like, it can also be pain in the ass music. So that's what we try to avoid. And
actually,
basically,
we don't think about it that much.
Yeah, I don't
right?
think
it's
about.
Like you just write songs that come out, and it's not like
exactly.
we're gonna do an album. That's probably it also can also not tell you what the next album will be like, because it's just what comes out comes out. It's not a fixed plan like, oh, we're gonna write a song exactly, or an album that sounds like, or that will have this certain sound or this certain influences. It's just also I think how you were feeling.
The question was like what we think about the symphonic metal scene right now, and we're back to
yeah.
So I know we play with a lot of bands and we play on the festivals, but for me it's not like that I'm super influenced. I know younger bands that I play with, they say, oh, I'm influenced by this band and this band. For me it's different. I cannot say I'm influenced by Soundcheck.
Okay.
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay. So
we'll be right out
as soon as you.
So I think we're following our own path in that way.
Oh yeah. That's awesome. All right. Well, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. That's pretty much the end of my questions.
Perfect.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Awesome timing there, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Super timing, and thanks for the beer.
Yeah, of course.